This is a video to show you flows and some of the other email marketing features we have at Lead Machine. So here we've got something called a consumption flow. This would happen when someone opt-ins to receive a free report. So you then send them an email saying, here's the link to the report. You wait 3 days and you see, did they actually click on the link in that email? If they did, great. But if they didn't, what we want to do is we really want to make sure that they read that report. Now, if they did, we could put them onto another flow. So the way that we do that is we then wait another 3 days and then see have they clicked on the report and so on. And you may even want to actually call the person potentially. So that's one type of flow. Another type of flow that can work really well is in relation to a survey. So you might have a survey which asks you a number of different questions. And one of the great features of Lead Machine is that the email that we send in response to this can have different paragraphs that will vary based on the responses to these questions. So for example, if they said more leads than I can handle, well, that first paragraph could be, well, since you've got lots of leads. But if it said, I need more, well, here's how to get more leads. Similarly with the second paragraph. So you can have as many questions as you want. And the whole point is that every person will receive an email with totally different paragraphs based on their responses to these questions. So here's how this can work with a flow. So here we have a flow that comes from a survey. So the first email would be essentially like a confirmation email, and that's saying, thanks so much for filling out the survey. I've received your responses. I'll now create a personalized response. And now what you then do is you have a delay of 43 minutes. It's an intentionally a strange number because what you're doing is you're making the person think that you're actually creating a personalized response when in actual fact, Lead Machine's doing all the work in the background, and it then creates this tailored response, this personalized report that's sent over here. We then wait a day, and typically what you'll do is that the last question in your survey will be, what is your biggest challenge? And in this example, we've got 3 potential challenges. So the first one is productivity, the second one's attitude, and the third one's systems. So what we're saying here is the biggest challenge productivity? If it is, put them in a productivity follow-up. If it's not productivity, is it attitude? Yes, it is attitude. Put them in an attitude follow-up, but if it's not attitude, then put them in a systems follow-up. Now, just to show you how fast it is to actually create these flows, let's just create a quick one here. So we'll go in and we'll send an email and we'll then choose a template. There's the template there and we'll add that. Now you can actually create a new template on the fly here. Then let's add in a delay. So we'll make it 3 days, add the delay, fantastic. Now we'll put in a decision. Did they click link? Okay, add a condition, which is going to be a link, clicked. Have they ever clicked, say this, mycompany.com? Fantastic. If they've clicked the link, we can create other actions. So, for example, we can increment the contact rating. We could also tag them, for example. So we could add a tag, link.click. Okay, we've added that tag. So yeah, just to show you, it is very quick to build these things out. A couple of other features worth mentioning is that Lead Machine integrates with Gmail and Google Apps. So if Tegan sends an email from her Gmail or Google Apps account, that email will then appear on the contact record. So what it will do, it will match this email which is being sent out from the Gmail or Google Apps account, and it will match that with the email address on the contact record. Speaking of Gmail, there is something called Gmail email markup. So for example, if you send an email to a Gmail account, you can have this button which says review, so you can give the local business a review. Now, what we're able to do at Lead Machine is we're able to identify when you send out email to multiple people, a big bulk email, we can identify which are the Gmail ones, and we can ensure that they then have this special button. Whereas if they don't have a Gmail address, we wouldn't obviously put the button. And there's some other interesting Gmail email markup features available as well, which will work when you send to a Gmail account. Capitalizing, just a bit of a bugbear, which is that when someone fills in an opt-in form, they use lowercase, but when you send out email, it's really nice to capitalize. Very, very easy to do. The other thing is that annoying email header, which is when you send an email out, it has this via. So that makes it look like a promotional email. So that's something which we can remove, so it just has your branding. And finally, on email deliverability, we have our email managed by Mandrill, which sends billions of emails a month. It's a company run by MailChimp. It's trusted by lots of big companies. And one of the challenges with most ESPs is that when someone spams, it affects everyone. Whereas with Mandrill, everyone has their own sub-account. So if one person does something not so good, it's not going to affect your sub-accounts. If you're a big sender, you can also get your own IP address. And with dynamic emails, what that means is that because you're sending different content to different people, it actually then the big providers, the Hotmails, the Yahoos, the Gmails, they say, well, actually, this isn't bulk mail because it's all different. So that does great things for your deliverability. Lead Machine's mobile friendly and it integrates with everything.